Despite the pleas from world leaders urging the two factions responsible for the ongoing fight in Sudan to stop, the plea has yielded no result. What then should these world leaders do? In this video, you're going to see how the US military carried out a daring operation to evacuate their embassy staff from Sudan. So before I play the video, if you're new to this channel and you've not subscribed, please kindly hit the subscribe button and put on the notification bell for you to get notified whenever I drop new videos on things happening around the globe. Now, the war in Sudan has taken a new dimension as world leaders and different countries that have their embassy in that country are trying their possible best to evacuate their citizens from Sudan, ranging from Nigeria, United States of America, United Kingdom, France, every nations of the world that have their embassy in Sudan and their citizens in Sudan are trying all their possible best to evacuate their people from Sudan since the plea for the people responsible for this fight in Sudan is yielding no result. So they are left with no other option than to evacuate their citizens from Sudan. But the most of it, the US military caught my attention after seeing a daring video of these dedicated men who risked their life despite all the warnings and all these people, the Sudan military and the paramilitary side refusing to cease fire despite the warning for people different for countries not to come into Sudan with their aircraft. The US military personnel, these guys risked their life. They went to Sudan at night and lifted their people from Sudan. So on seeing that video, I said I'm not going to see this video alone for myself. I will definitely share it with my followers for you to see how the US military personnel risked their lives, carried out a daring task to ensure that they lift their embassy staff in Sudan. But despite that, the US have over thousands of their people still remaining in Sudan. But they said they are trying their possible best to ensure that they evacuate their other citizens remaining in Sudan. Do not forget that over 600 people, including one United States of America citizen, have been killed in the ongoing war between the military and the paramilitary side in Sudan. Without saying much, let's dive into this video for you to see how the military personnel carried out a daring task to evacuate their embassy staff from Sudan.
100 people were airlifted from the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum under the cover of darkness and with the protection of more than 100 U.S. Special Operations Forces. 3 Chinook helicopters were on the ground in Sudan for less than an hour before flying the Americans across the border to Ethiopia. President Biden announced the successful operation in a statement and promised to help the thousands of Americans still in the country to the extent possible as Sudan slips further into chaos after 9 days of ferocious fighting. ABC News foreign correspondent James Longman leads us off.
This morning, a major sigh of relief as all personnel from the US Embassy in Khartoum and their families have been safely evacuated from Sudan.
As a result of the intensity of the conflict, we reluctantly decided it was time to suspend operations.
U.S. Special Operations Forces making the daring rescue operation under the cover of darkness. The Pentagon saying 3 Chinook helicopters took off from a U.S. base in Djibouti and refueled in Ethiopia, flying 800 miles to the Sudanese capital. On the ground for less than an hour, they rescued fewer than 100 people, including Americans and other nationals. President Biden praising the, quote, unmatched skill of the 100 or so Special Forces members involved. Leaders across the world scrambling to pull their nationals out of Sudan amid days of fighting and a shaky ceasefire, leaving only a small window of opportunity. Saudi Arabia releasing this footage, showing their first group of foreign nationals were safely evacuated and they're back on Saudi soil. The fighting between the two warring military groups has only escalated as it enters its second week. It's already claimed at least 400 lives, including one American. The Biden administration has been warning private American citizens about the danger, saying they can't count on the U.S. government to get them out.
It is not our standard procedure to evacuate American citizens living abroad.
And that's the focus now, Martha, figuring out how to get other U.S. citizens out of the country. One option is Port Sudan. It is on the Red Sea, and other countries have used it to get their citizens out. The issue is that it is some 500 miles away from Khartoum, and it is too dangerous right now to leave your house, let alone the city.